And that's also one of the differences, because that's one of the things I talk a lot about when I teach business people or entrepreneurs, is that I think it's 80 something percent of millionaires have gone broke at some point before they finally succeed. And the difference between the ones who go broke and stay broke, or go broke and get a job and nice job security, and the ones who succeed afterwards, is that the ones who succeed afterwards, they learn a lot from their quote-unquote failure.
Yeah.
And that quote-unquote failure and the learning it gave them was absolutely crucial. Yeah. They wouldn't have been able to become ultimate successful without that learning. So that's a mindset that I really do everything I can to drill into people, is that it's so much about getting the most out of your experiences before you move on. And then I just happen to come up with a really, really, really powerful way of doing that, which, you know, we've seen at some of the seminars with some of the amazingly fast and profound changes. So that was the thing I wanted to talk about. But back to the other thing is, I've finally started to write my first book. I'm not sure if I should mention the working. I'm not going to mention the working title, but it's basically it's a collection of the things that I've observed and experienced myself, are the things that can really change people's lives on a personal level or on a business level. Okay. That's the interesting thing, that all of them will be important or in both cases.
Okay.
And we already talked about some of them. For example, the thing when I talked about how I chose to invest and still continue to invest in my own education, that I don't see it as spending money on education. I see it as investing.
Okay.
And that's a critical mindset to have, or a mindset shift for some people, is to look for how you invest instead of spend.
Yeah.
And that's in terms of your money, in terms of for example, of education, of all kinds of other things. That if you have the mindset, how can I invest my money the best, then it will automatically give you better answers. And for example, I make the joke that if we go down to the store and if I go, okay, am I gonna invest my money in a 6-pack of Coca-Cola or am I gonna spend my money? You know, if I spend my money, it's very, very easy. But if I go, am I going to invest my money? All of a sudden,
it's hard to buy Coca-Cola.
Yeah, because invest, well, my blood sugar is gonna crash, and I have to sleep earlier perhaps, and I have to do that much more workout with the kettlebells in order to burn off the calories, etc. It just doesn't make sense.
No.
So the difference between the spending mindset and the investment mindset is huge. And also in terms of your social life, if you think about how am I going to invest my time today instead of how am I going to spend my time today, how am I going to kill the time today, even worse, it will give you better answers automatically.
Yeah.
Because you're focusing your brain in a different way. Yeah, and you just got a small epiphany.
Yeah. So cool, I see it. Oh yeah. How am I gonna invest my day? That's gonna be added to my morning routine.
Yeah, and not only are you gonna spend your, you probably have to spend a little bit of time getting used to it. And then when you use the word invest, you're gonna pick better things to do, first of all, and a natural conclusion or as a result of it is that you're also gonna get more out of the time. So if you say, okay, I'm gonna invest the next 3 hours with my girlfriend watching a movie and maybe see what happens, you're also gonna get the best out of it. You're gonna enjoy it more, you're gonna relax more, because it's an investment you're doing. An investment presupposes that's gonna be a betterment, a good outcome. And in order to get that, well, you have to relax, because if you think about the meeting afterwards or whatever, it's not an investment, it's just trying to do two different things at the same time. It's not going to work, and It's not going to be an investment. So it kind of streamlines and forces your mind in a more positive direction using it that way. So that's just one example
of what you're going to write about in the book.
Yeah, well, that's a collection of those things that I've noticed makes the biggest difference, mindset shift wise. And then going to be examples of both how to use it in business or your job, professional career, and also on a personal level, personal development level.